Easy. Thanks for joining us. You'll be right there. All right, everybody. We're pleased to be joined by West Virginia head coach Steve Sabins, designated hitter Sam White, and catcher Logan Suave. You know the routine. We'll ask Coach to make his opening comment, then we'll ask questions directed to the players first, and then they can go clean up, and then we'll have more questions for Coach. Thank you for your time again, Coach. The microphone is yours.
Congratulations to LSU. Played two really great games. We never focus on other teams or what they do. Couldn't be more proud of our guys. The two guys sitting next to me, centerpieces of the most successful season in program history. We broke an all-time win record. We won an outright Big 12 title, and we played in back-to-back super regionals for the first time in program history. In order to do that at a place that doesn't have the same baseball tradition, it takes incredible fortitude by a group of young men deciding to do something that had never been done in program history before. And the guys next to me and the other 27 players on this team did something spectacular. I was very lucky to be part of it as a head coach in my first year.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. For questions for the players first, please direct your question to the players, since we have two of them up here so they know who is being asked. And guys, if you don't mind, like Coach did, if you'll lean into the mic just a little bit, just so they can get your audio nice and clear, we appreciate that. With that, we'll open it up for questions. We'll start in the back.
Kevin Kindner, Blue and Gold News. For Sam and Logan, I know you don't have a lot of time at this point to reflect on some of the things your coach mentioned, but what sticks with you about this season? What will you take away from it, do you think?
I think everybody kind of looks forward to their junior year in college baseball, just because usually that's your draft year and stuff. But this group of guys, last year was the closest team I've ever been on, and this year just kind of blew that out of the water. Truly brothers. This guy next to me, we've been through thick and thin for the last 3 years together. We've been through the ringer in practice, especially in the bullpen when we were both catchers. Jagar beating us up, and just building the relationships that we have in the last 3 years. Me, Logan, Ellis, Garcia, Skylar King, Grant Hussey, just everybody that we've been with for the last, I don't know how long, kind of came into fruition. We took this thing really far and gave LSU a lot to handle. And I'm just really, really proud of the team.
Yeah, just to add on to what Sam said, the friendships is the biggest thing that I take away. You see these guys every day. You get to go to work with people that you love every single day, and you build friendships that last forever, and you make memories that you'll never forget. So this guy right here, he's my rock. So appreciate everything that everybody's done for me.
Questions right here in the front.
Greg Carey with West Virginia Metro News. Logan, what's it like catching in these conditions? I know it wasn't quite as hot today, but I imagine it's pretty rigorous, not exactly something that you always have to deal with.
Yeah, definitely way better today. Yesterday was warm. I got a little break there in the 7th, which was nice. But yeah, it's definitely a different environment. You just got to stay hydrated and stay cool. But what an awesome atmosphere. Kudos to LSU, like Coach Sabes said. Good luck to them as they continue on, but great place to play and great atmosphere.
In the back.
Sydney Carriel, Golden Blue Nation. In the middle innings, when you guys started to claw back into the game, because you guys hear the Mountaineer fans just starting to get real rowdy, what was that like, hearing that?
It was incredible. There was a Let's Go Mountaineers chant that started, and that kind of woke up the LSU fans a little bit. And even though, obviously, the 12,000 in the stands for LSU kind of took over, it fired me up internally because I was like, the LSU fans were asleep, and the WVU fans, who are so outnumbered, were giving more energy than the rest of the stadium. And, we all say it, West Virginia crowd, the fans are the best in the country. They live and die by every sports team in WVU, and we travel pretty well. So,
Sam, you had a lot of success at the plate over the last 2 days. What do you attribute that to?
That's a great question. I think I really kind of tried to hone into the fact that I can't do it all by myself. And, I have great hitters in front of me, great hitters behind me. My job is just to pass it to the next guy. And if they give me something I can handle, try and drive it, do my thing. But, just trying to really have a team offense instead of trying to put all the pressure on myself.
Me again. Hi. What do you guys want this team to be remembered by now that the season's over?
I would say I want us to be remembered as just a great group of young men that work every day to become the best players that we can become, and I think that translates over to the performance that we put on the field this year. Back-to-back Super Regionals is something that I never envisioned happening in this program, but Coach Sabins and Coach Mays have built something incredibly special here, so super proud of what they've done, and the success that this program continues to show.
I would say, really, really tough group of young men, I guess. But I don't know how many come from behind wins we had this year. But, there was never any give in the lineup, even in the 8th inning down. I don't even know how many runs of a Super Regional, and there's a guy throwing 102. We're not giving away at-bats. There's just no give in the 2025 Mountaineers.
Logan, on a night when Jack didn't have his best stuff, what can you say about the effort that Chase gave you guys?
Yeah, he's done that a lot this year. Cart felt bad. He kept apologizing to me, and I'm like, dude, this isn't all on you. A lot of things can happen in the game of baseball, and we can fight back right away. So I hate that Cart feels that way, but awesome what Chase did. He's done that multiple times for us this season. It just shows the type of player that he is. Anytime he comes in the game, I feel pretty confident being back there catching him.
Last call for questions for the players. If not, we'll let them go clean up. We're good. Sam and Logan, congratulations on your season. It's a pleasure having you in Baton Rouge, and good luck to you in your future. Thanks for your time. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, absolutely. All right, now we'll open up the floor for questions for Coach Sabins, please.
You hit on it a little bit in your opening statement, but just big picture looking at the season, what's kind of your 30,000-foot view of 2025 West Virginia now that the whole body of work's done?
Probably have to take some more time to reflect on it. I think when you're competing, you're literally just living in every pitch and every moment, and you're working with the guys to try to put the best product on the field that you can. Throughout the season, obviously, there's some major accolades and there's some milestones that happened, and we broke an all-time win record at WVU. We won the first outright Big 12 title in football, basketball, or baseball at our university. And then this program's never been in back-to-back super regionals. And so those were big milestones. That was something that we're proud of, certainly. I think it'll take a little bit more time to reflect on. All those things for us are nice, and our fans are proud of them as a unit and a group of guys. The things that Logan and Sam touched on are what matter to me. We talked about playing for 9 innings every time that we stepped on the field, every pitch for 9 innings. And that's what those players did. And it's hard to do that consistently. There's so many ups and downs when you're 18 to 24 years old. Emotionally, to be able to hold on and compete regardless of score is the objective. And I felt like our team did a nice job with that. So from a 30,000-foot view, that would be my perspective, is that we got a team to compete the right way.
Alex Day, College Baseball Central. Coach, how do you take what you guys have accomplished over the last 2 years and build on that for next year?
My view's different. It's not what we've done over the last 2 years. I think there was a massive transition in our program when Coach Mazy took over the program 13, 14, 15 years ago. I've been in the program now for 10 years. And so what we were able to do this season is a compilation of effort for me over the last decade and for Coach Mazey over the last 15 years. The program, when Coach Mazey took over, hadn't been to a regional in 18 to 19 years, and when I got there, hadn't made a regional in 20 years. We broke through in 2017 with the first regional in 21 seasons. And so the snapshot of the last 2 years for me is not accurate, although they've been the most successful 2 years in program history. It's been a lot of work by a lot of people and a lot of great players over the course of 10 or 15 years. They've been playing baseball there for 135, and so that's not to lessen anything, but in the last 10 years, there's probably not more growth. It's been exponential growth, the success of our program over the last decade, probably more than any program in the nation.
Coach in the back, Richard, right?
Coach, so many times this year you got to the right relief pitcher that you needed. It might have not been the first move, but second, third, something you got to guys that could keep you in the game, shut the other team down. Last couple of games, obviously that didn't happen the way you would have wanted it to. Level of competition, just a couple of guys a little short of what they had done this year, maybe some of those things together?
Probably a combination of those things. I think our guys competed as hard as they have all season. Last week was as high of a high as this team has probably experienced, actually for certain, in the last 10 years that I've been here. So to go into a regional when we hadn't been playing very good baseball and sweep a regional against an ACC opponent and 2 games against an SEC opponent and trail in all of those games, it was probably the most exciting 3-game series in West Virginia baseball history. And so sometimes when you come off a high that's that exhilarating for young people and you show up for the next week, I think it is difficult maybe to maintain that same level of focus. You mix that in with unusual temperature and heat for us. The reality is that we didn't have a single pitcher go more than 4 innings, and those guys on average, our 2 starters, throw much longer than that. And so for no pitcher to go over 4 innings, it's not an effort issue, it's not a compete issue. It was they ran out of gas, and so there's a plethora of reasons why that could be, but you'd be silly not to think that possibly the conditions had something to do with that.
Steve, any thoughts on the delay, and what did you guys do during it to try to handle it?
The LSU took care of us. We had a locker room in the visiting side, and then also their Hall of Fame, Hall of Traditions that we were able to get into. So the guys hung out in there. We ordered sandwiches. They were fine. They were watching other games on TV. They were watching pro games. We were just hanging out. We're used to that. As Mountaineers, we battle weather. We travel more than anybody in the country. We had more road wins than anybody in the country. So the adversity side of that, we usually think that plays in our favor just because we're used to dodging weather.
Coach, what made the LSU offense so hard to contain this weekend?
I think they're talented, first and foremost. They're well coached. They perform in big moments, and it's really when you give great teams and great offenses additional opportunities or free passes, they answer. And so we had more walks than what a championship team can do. And so the walk and hit by pitch allowed for base runners to get on. Our pitchers were consistently in stressful situations. And so the more stress that pitchers are under with base runners and heat and long at-bats and additional pitches per inning, it catches up to you over the course of time. So my guess is over the last 2 days, we had a larger pitch count per inning than we did probably all season. So you mix that with some heat in there, and guys don't make as quality pitches over the course of the game, and those pitches get hit by good teams.
Coach, one more question for you. It's in the back right here to your left. No, you. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Coach. Season as a whole, for people who might not know this WVU team inside the clubhouse, can you give us a little bit of the character and identity of this team?
Confident. They had fun. They trusted in each other. They've been together for a long time. And I think a true belief in each other. That would be my best way to summarize this group. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. You're commentating this
No,
thing.
go ahead. You got it. Sure. Last question right here.
Coach, players scatter now. You don't get a whole lot of time with them again. They're going on to pro careers, everyone else. That seems to make this last little meeting, the last trip back to Morgantown, really important. What do you try to remember from that and take out of that?
Yeah, every year is the same. I don't get sad about baseball results. I get sad about the group of people that you work with for a year straight to try to build something special, which this group did. Won't ever get to be together again. And so there is some sort of finality in that final out that you're not going to get to be with that same group of kids. And you try to explain that from the very first day of practice to really cherish the opportunity, because that's all that we can ever have is an opportunity. And these guys had an opportunity to be part of something special, and they certainly capitalized on that.
Coach, as we told the players, it was a pleasure having you in Baton Rouge. Congratulations on your season, and we wish you the best of luck in the future.
Yep, thanks a lot. The hospitality was incredible.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you. Thanks. All right, we'll give it just a moment. We'll let Coach get out, and we'll flip name cards around. We'll start with LSU here in just a moment.